Hey guys, it's Emerson, your Friday guy for the Transly Prophet, and I guess we're talking about what our student groups are doing for LGBTQIA etc. month. I'm not that active, so I can't really say much about that. Um, we did do we have like a queer prom um, at the end of coming out week, which is soon I think. It falls somewhere in this month. So I mean, that's one thing, and working a lot on informing people on vote no. Um, Otherwise, I'm not really sure because I don't go all the time. A lot of it's kind of a social thing, and I'm not great friends with a lot of other people who go in there, and now there's a lot of freshmen, and it's kind of overwhelming because it's this massive group. It used to be 12 people, which I mean it's nice that it's growing, but it's also kind of overwhelming. And then the meetings are way longer, and a guy's got to do his homework sometime. um, so yeah, and I have an internship, so I like to have some downtime, and I'd kind of rather not spend it there, just because I feel like I can get information out about voting no and important things like that just through who I talk to, because I'm really comfortable talking about that. Yeah, one thing I struggle talking about is being trans, and I'm in social work, so we talk a lot about our identities and what gives us privilege and what doesn't, what causes oppression, and it's something I really struggle with because um, otherwise I'm seen as pretty much having all the privilege you can have. My parents are middle class. I'm kind of a broke college student, but they're there for me if I need money. I don't have that issue really. I am white, so I have white privilege. Um, I am recognized as male everywhere but legally, so I have that privilege. I think it frustrates me when I need to be better at sharing that I'm trans and then talking about that, because once you do, people are great almost all the time. At least at my school, it's kind of liberal, and especially social workers are pretty liberal and open-minded. Um, and it always feels really good when I talk about it with people, but at the same time, sometimes people just don't know how to talk about it, and they don't know how to ask questions that aren't offensive, and they feel like they're not being offensive because they know you and they're a friend with a trans person, so they must be an ally, right? But they're not necessarily, because they're uninformed, and it gets old being the informer. And so all of that kind of stops me, but then I have this internal dilemma where I kind of get upset that no one's recognizing that I am part of a minority, and people think maybe I don't have any issues, and it's my own issue, and I really don't have that many issues because I haven't had a hugely hard time with transitioning once I figured all of that out. A lot of the hard time was before, when I was kind of, as to quote Catastrophe, kind of my own hate crime, um, with no one defending me. That if you look up Bad Feelings by Catastrophe, or Rocco Coyados, he's kind of a rapper, kind of spoken word. Yeah, the Bad Feelings, I don't know. I think, at least for me as a trans person, it's something that pretty much expresses how I felt in my worst times. So yeah, I, I think a lot of the time we're our own worst enemies as far as being really critical, and like he says, your own hate crime before you come to terms with being trans or anything LGBTQIA, any of that. I think that happens. So I've been kind of on a tangent here, but if anyone has anything to respond to that video or comment, that'd be awesome. It's just something I struggle with. I thought I'd share while we're talking about a whole month about us. So yeah. Sorry if you weren't interested in that tangent. Otherwise, have a safe weekend. Enjoy the fall weather. It's beautiful out. I love fall. It's the best time. If you haven't been able to have surgery yet and you want it, enjoy the fall weather because you can layer up, and I know that's the best time for binders because sweaters and layers make you feel good when you can make it completely flat. I wish everyone the best in dealing with dysphoria because that can be a bitch. So yeah, good vibes towards everyone. I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go.